From the intricate movement of players, especially Bayern Munich's two counter-attacking goals, the Champions League fixture between Arsenal and Bayern Munich was quite scintillating, and the in-depth tactical tweaks that both managers used showcased a very tactical and a very competitive game, with both managers having to settle for a draw. So in our analysis today, we're going to look at what both Mikel Arteta and Thomas Tuchel did to try and give their team an edge against this tough Champions League quarterfinal fixture, with Mikel Arteta coming up slightly top of a Tuchel. So Arsenal lined up with their default 4-3-3 formation, and one key thing we noticed is the omission of Zinchenko in the lineup and Gabriel Jesus. But later in the second half, we saw Jesus and Zinchenko coming in as Mikel Arteta tried to adjust his tactics to beat Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel, on the other hand, lined up Bayern Munich in a 4-2-3-1 formation, and in this formation we mainly look at what Tuchel tried to attain with Leroy Sané and Harry Kane in this game, with trying to create a lot of tactical counter-attacking situations through their forward line, and we are going to see how Tuchel managed to do this perfectly. Again, I'd like to introduce you to our new partner, and that is BetWinner. BetWinner will give you favorable odds and favorable predictions, especially in this running that is ending towards the season. You can get an opportunity to actually make money watching your favorite sport, either in the Premier League, the Champions League, and La Liga. Do not forget to click in the link in the description area below to download BetWinner app, as well as to visit their site for more affordable odds. Before we even start our analysis, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And the first thing that we're going to try and look at is Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal dominated possession since they were at home, though they were quite intricate and quite elaborate with how they tried to play, and we are going to see how they did this. So Arsenal, as usual, played from the back, dropping their two centre-backs in behind to play alongside David Raya, with their full-backs pushing slightly forward and their wingers starting high and wide. So Bayern Munich's main pressing strategy was mainly to try and limit Arsenal's central progression by trying to ensure that Arsenal do not have time and space on the ball, especially to progress with the ball through the middle. The work of Harry Kane and Musiala was generally to sit onto the two pivots and deny them time and space on the ball. You can see the position of Musiala and Harry Kane on Declan Rice and Jorginho. So, because of this system, generally Bayern Munich were quite passive, not going quite aggressively against Arsenal, but rather trying to press Arsenal in a mid-block. Now, the difference in dynamics with the position of Sané and Gnabry, because Sané was slightly tucked in while Gnabry was looking to try and cover Ben White. And Arsenal would form a back three with Kivior coming in to tuck in as a left centre back, while Ben White played a more adventurous role down the right hand side. So because of this double pivot man marking, we started to see Odegaard dropping deep from the forward line position to come deep and look to receive the ball directly from Saliba. And sometimes this would pull in a player such as Goretzka, and this might give Arsenal numerical advantage, especially down the right hand side. Now, Odegaard receiving this ball in this position with little time or pressure against him, would see Odegaard actually use his technical passing abilities to turn with the ball and look to have penetrative passes, especially for Arsenal's players in between the lines, such as Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, and also sometimes Declan Rice, or play those overlapping runs for Ben White. You can see here Odegaard has been covered, and now Saliba is forced to play the ball to Saka, who has dropped deeper to receive the ball in a much comfortable position. So when Saka will receive this ball in this much comfortable position, his main aim was to try and flick the ball on, especially for the overlapping runs of Ben White, as you can see from this clip. So Because of these constant overloads down the right, Bayern Munich were really suffering, and majority of the time they tried now to stop Arsenal from playing down the right and rather force Arsenal to play down the left, because Kiwior is not quite the greatest on the ball and therefore is not quite an adventurous passer in these kinds of position, and Odegaard was not dropping in down the left to receive the ball. So Kiwior only had one option, two options actually: pass back to the goalkeeper or pass forward to Gabriel Martinelli. And Leroy Sané playing slightly infield to cover Rice would open the gap for Jesus to receive the ball, where Gabriel Martinelli to receive the ball, where he will be 1v1 against Kimmich. And when Kimmich actually managed to win the ball, he will have the time to immediately play Sané and have Sané making dribbles past Kiwior. And sometimes Sané was quite achieved that ability to dribble past Kiwior, making him beat Kiwior time and time again, giving Arsenal numerical problems and qualitative problems, especially down the left back position. Now, when Arsenal were much more settled in possession, we saw quite an interesting tactic that we've not seen Mikel Arteta deploy, and we're going to try and see which tactic is this. Now, the tactic here was quite interesting, and this was the diamond midfield position, with Kai Havertz dropping from the number 9 position to actually play deeper as a false 9, giving Arsenal that numerical advantage, especially in the midfield region, with Jorginho playing at the base of the midfield. Down the right is where it was quite interesting, because Ben White would push forward, especially when Gnabry will be looking to try and press Saliba, and the main aim Arsenal were trying to create here is 3v2 overloads against Lima and Davis. And Arsenal were quite getting a lot of success down this position, with Saka looking to find himself time and time again in that half space position, and this is actually what led to Arsenal's first goal, as Saka made a superb turn to score Arsenal's first goal. Now, because of these tactical problems that Tuchel was experiencing, especially with Bukayo Saka looking to attack this half-space region, we started to see something quite interesting, because when Saka would attempt to make this run, Ben White was not quite afraid to play the ball to him, and in this position Saka will be in his stronger left foot running towards goal, and in a position where he could actually attempt to score a goal. You can see here again the position of Ben White trying to create that 2v1 overload against Ben Davies. Remember, their main aim was to create this overload against Davies to create a free space for Saka. So Davies loses his man by trying to follow Ben White, and now Saka is receiving the ball in an inside position, in a position of great advantage. Saka receiving the ball in this position sees Arsenal go 1-0 up. So Tuchel decided to change this by having Gnabry to play slightly deeper to try and cover Ben White, and this started to take away Bayern Munich's attacking threat. And sometimes Davies will receive the ball and immediately look to dribble past Saka, and this created dangerous moments for Arsenal, because now Ben Davies will look to progress with the ball forward and actually put Arsenal in quite a devastating position, because now Arsenal had to try and prevent these counter-attacking situations from happening. But Arteta had another trick up his sleeve, and in the second half Arteta again showcased why he is becoming one of the world's most elite managers at Arsenal. And this tactical trick that Mikel Arteta employed in this game was the introduction of Alexander Zinchenko in Arsenal's left back position. Unlike Kiwior, who is not quite comfortable with the ball, Zinchenko is not afraid to invert and actually play as a deeper playmaker for Arsenal. So Kiwior was taken out and Zinchenko came in, and because Bayern had managed a tight man marking on Jorginho, especially Musiala sitting on him, we started to see Zinchenko playing as a deeper pivot, giving Gabriel and Saliba chance to play a triangle over Harry Kane. And the position of Zinchenko was quite great because Zinchenko in this position was not afraid generally to receive the ball under pressure, and this took away a lot of pressure for Jorginho, because now Jorginho will push forward and look to create that diamond further forward, with Zinchenko looking to be the one to try at least to play players in between the lines. And this is the reason why Arsenal came out in the second half much stronger and much in control of the game, because of the position of Alexander Zinchenko. And Jorginho in this position will receive the ball as a third man and have time and space to scan the areas of the pitch and look to play those tidy passes and tidy through balls that Jorginho usually tries to play. And this is how Mikel Arteta managed to have and create a lot of overloads for Arsenal, and this saw Arsenal come out strong. So what about Bayern Munich? What did Bayern Munich do in possession, and what actually did they do that saw them actually get the deserved draw at the Emirates? Bayern Munich were quite interesting, and their build-up play involves dropping both their centre-backs deeper, having their wingers starting wide, and it was quite interesting how they did it, because now Arsenal, as usual, we know they like to press with the Diamond 4-4-2, with Havertz looking to aggressively press Manuel Neuer while covering the cover shadow to De Ligt, and this forced Dyer to receive the ball. As we know, Dyer is not a left footer and he was not much comfortable with the ball at his feet, and you can see here in this clip, Neuer has received the ball directly from De Ligt. You can clearly see now Neuer is looking to play the ball forward, with Kai Havertz looking to press him. Neuer plays the ball to Eric Dyer, who's playing as left-sided centre-back, and immediately Martin Odegaard looks to spring and try to press this centre-back. Odegaard presses Dyer, and Dyer now is forced to go long, and Arsenal are lose possession, and now they're in a quite difficult and tricky situation. Now, because of this problem, we started to see Bayern being innovative, especially Manuel Neuer, who decided that he would chip the ball off Kai Havertz and look to play the ball down the right, where he understood that if they would manage to find Kivio 1v1 against Sané, then Sané would have the upper hand and actually look to beat Kivio in these kinds of position. So we started to see Bayern looking to play through the right. Here in this clip, you can see Manuel Neuer has managed to chip the ball over Kai Havertz and find Matthias De Ligt, who is much comfortable on the ball, especially when he plays down the right. De Ligt has received the ball without any pressure and is now looking to progress with the ball as he scans the area of the pitch where he's able to make that penetrative pass. De Ligt manages to play a penetrative pass to Leroy Sané, and Sané in this position is quite interesting because he knows how to work himself out of this tight man marking position by Kivio and look to progress the ball forward. He beats Kivio, and now Sané is running at Arsenal's backline, and you can see how Arsenal's backline, midfield and attacking lines have been taken out of the game, and now Bayern Munich are gaining momentum, and this is what led to the first goal for Bayern Munich. Alternatively, we started to see another interesting facet that Thomas Tuchel was employing in this game. And this facet was the use of his number 9 Harry Kane. And how did Harry Kane help Bayern Munich? Sometimes Lima will drop in between to receive the ball and look to play an immediate ball to Matthias De Ligt. De Ligt in this position now will receive the ball with little pressure and look to progress the ball further, especially to Kimmich, whose main aim was either to play the ball to the diagonal runs of Leroy Sané or try to play the first time balls to the diagonal runs of Serge Gnabry. Now, the difficult problems that Bayern created for Arsenal was when Harry Kane dropped deep. We know Harry Kane likes to drop deep and receive the ball, especially against Jorginho, who he had outwitted physically, laying the ball back to Musiala or Lima, who will now look to immediately play those diagonal runs, especially for Leroy Sané. And Sane would attempt that pass to Gnabry. You can see here the position of Harry Kane. Look at how he has immediately dragged Saliba out of position, and now you can see Gnabry looking to make that run, especially to try and beat Ben White. Tactically, both managers came in understanding each other, with Thomas Tuchel looking to be the one who comes out of the Emirates quite happy because he managed to get a deserved draw, did not concede too many goals, and managed to actually get a solid performance that they can build on and try to win the tie away at Munich. Mikel Arteta will feel somehow disappointed because tactically he was great, but his team did not manage to finish off Bayern Munich, with some silly mistakes at the back costing Arsenal the win today. If you've enjoyed this analysis and you'd like to see more analysis in this video, you can like, share and subscribe to this channel. Leave your comments in the comment section below if you've seen there's a tactic that both managers employ that I did not capture. If you've enjoyed this video, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.